Let's bring in Louisiana Republican Senator John Kennedy. He's a member of the House Judiciary Committee, and he's never had a loss for things to say about the issues of the day. So, Senator, let me start off with some sound from ordinary Americans and things that they're concerned with. Let's listen here.
Crime out of control in every city in America.
The human trafficking is such a horrific thing that is happening in our country right now.
Price went up since COVID. Everything went up. Everything changed.
If you're a millennial, you're Gen Z, you're hopeless right now. You're feeling cynical.
I just didn't feel comfortable leaving my son in a school system where fewer than half of the students can read proficiently.
So those are the concerns of Americans, and yet yesterday we saw a handful of Republicans kick the Speaker of the House out of his seat. Is that the right thing to be doing at this time, given what rank-and-file Americans are concerned about?
Well, John, I realize that even on a good day, most Americans look at Washington, D.C., and they ask themselves, how did these people make it through the birth canal? And that's on a good day. And I understand that. I don't want to underestimate or overestimate what happened in the House yesterday. The House decided to change leadership. That is its right. This time next week they'll have a new leader. And while we're on the subject, I think it should not go unnoticed that Speaker McCarthy decided to take himself out of the running for the speakership. That was a very selfless act. Once we have a new leader in the House, we need to concentrate on four things. Number one, the budget. We've got to get a budget passed. Mm-hmm. Number two, inflation. Inflation is falling, but that's not going to solve the problem of high prices because the high prices aren't falling. Number three, the border. Number four, crime. Now, we can take each one of those one by one. On crime, it's not that complicated. We've got to hire more cops, but we can't because people don't want to be cops anymore because of the demonization. Our political leadership has got to stop demonizing cops. Our political leadership has got to stop thinking that cops are a bigger problem than criminals. Our leadership is going to have to reinstitute stop and frisk if you want to get criminals and guns off the streets. On the border, it's pretty straightforward. We need a Remain in Mexico program. We need a safe third country policy. We had all that before. President Biden removed those policies and people started flooding in. Here's a news flash. The law is very clear. If you try to sneak into our country illegally and get caught, at a minimum, you get deported. President Biden's not deporting anybody. I mean, we could go through this one by one, but...
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, folks at home are feeling the way they're feeling about so many different things, including Bidenomics. But you mentioned at the top of this that a lot of people look at Congress and wonder how folks made it through the birth canal. The Pew poll asked that question in a little bit different fashion. They asked how Americans feel when they think about politics. The percentage of time that they are always or often exhausted feeling about it is 65%, angry is 55%, hopeful just 10%, and excited a paltry 4%. Do things have to change the way that you're doing business there on Capitol Hill if you hope to gain back a modicum of trust with the American people? Not specifically speaking about you, but the body in general.
Well, some of what you just talked about is a reflection of our country. Our country right now is very divided. Many people are very angry. I don't think it's any surprise that you're going to have members of Congress divided and to some extent angry. But you ought to be able to use your anger in a positive way, not in a negative way. What I suggest we do is concentrate on the things that moms and dads worry about when they lie down to sleep at night and can't. And those things, in my opinion, are crime, inflation, and the border.
All right, Senator, thank you so much for joining.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.